Oh, hey there guys and girls. We'll do another quick video before I start work today. It's a lovely cold Monday morning and yeah, I'm here a little bit early so I can just do a little bit of a video log on this. Engine is about the same. The cam belt kit I bought for it was the wrong kit, naturally. Don't know how when all these engines are supposed to be the damn same, but you know, it was the wrong kit. So I've bought a new one now. I've put new tensioner pulleys on there, cleaned off all of the paint from where the belt sits on the pulleys, and hopefully it'll be ready to have the new belt put on when I get it through the post. The belt I used to have was a 140 tooth belt. I'm pretty sure this takes a 138 tooth belt, but we will see. That could be also wrong. Clutch. Yes, I'm having quite a bad clutch conundrum at the moment. The clutches that I've bought for this don't fit, of course, naturally. So I've been looking into it, and obviously this engine and and the car it came out of used a completely different clutch to the one that it's supposed to have, or the original engine had. Now I didn't want to use the original flywheel, which is that one down there. I didn't want to do that because it's a lot lighter. It doesn't weigh as much, and I've been told that a heavier flywheel gives you better torque or whatever. I don't know. Diesel's generally like a heavier flywheel, and although I assume both engines are the same CC, I still don't know that because I can't find any markings on this engine to denote it otherwise. That one physically says XUD7 on it somewhere. Or 7TD, I think it says on it somewhere. What's that? Oh, 7TE. Yeah. 7 Tango Echo. But this one down here has got nothing on it. It came from out of a car that was a 1.7 or 1.8 something, whatever you call it. I don't know the actual, was it 1769 I think it is, or 1869 cc. But yeah, it came from out of a car with that engine in, but I don't know if this engine was changed previously. The car had pretty low miles on it, so I would have thought it would have been the original engine. But it takes the flywheel from a Fiat Ulysses. I don't know what that means, but that's what it takes. Because the flywheel from a Fiat Ulysses fits on the... Sorry, not the flywheel, the clutch from a Fiat Ulysses fits on that flywheel perfectly. But it doesn't fit on that gearbox or that gearbox because they both got the same shaft, which is an 18 spline shaft. I think it's 200 millimeters. 200 millimeters? 20 millimeters? I can't remember now. Probably 20 millimeters. Yes, 20 millimeters. So yeah, a bit of a clutch conundrum. But I'm pretty sure I've managed to find a new replacement clutch for it. Apparently the HDI boxes, gearboxes and engines, they both take the same kind of clutch. But the clutch that this should have on it is the pressure plate, like that thing over there somewhere, which is hiding underneath them pipes. The clutch is instead of it being a 200 millimeter clutch, the one on this particular engine, or that particular flywheel, was a 230 millimeter clutch. The pressure plate, sorry. So that means that, if I was to put the pressure plate from, the original clutch onto that, it would sit and I'd lose half of the, half of the bloody clutch, because it doesn't meet all the way out here. It sort of sits here, which isn't good, So I'd lose half my clutch and I'm going to fall over. I really need to tie this area up. It's quite a mess. Brand new silicone pipe already looks a mess because I was using it to actually tie the clutch. Yes. So anyway, what I'm going to do is on the clutch side is wait for. Well, sorry about that. I just closed the camera by mistake. Yeah. So what I'm going to do on the clutch side is wait for one to come in this scrapyard. and I will hopefully measure up the clutch, how it fits onto that and how it fits onto the gearbox. The clutch will be coming from a HDI car, because apparently they take the same style clutch. Forklift truck outside is probably demolishing something, I've got no idea. But yeah. So, oh, now I've got a here still saw fired up. Yeah, into here. I tell you guys and girls, if you want a nightmare of a job, try changing the heater tap and the matrix on one of these things. They are not a pleasant job to do. They never sit right or anything. Now that particular heater tap is all done and dusted now. I've just got to put the steering column back in. But one of the things that one of the things that I thought was interesting with it was the fact that when you put it in and you swap them over, all of the things don't line up anymore. All of your levers and your wires and stuff, you know, your cables, none of them really you know, measure up. So you're having to fiddle around with it trying to get it in. And I had a bit of a problem with it. I didn't record it, I don't think. You can see I've got all the brakes done now, which is nice. You can see I've got red bloody engine enamel all over it, which I don't mind about because it's protected it from rust. It's behind the engine, so you can't really see it. It's because all of behind that rubber grommet, it had gone rusty. Like, not bad rust, but yeah, not structural integrity lost rust, but it was gone rusty. So I wire brushed it all back, then sanded it down and painted over it. So hopefully that won't cause any issues anymore. Yes, the brakes, I finally got all the brakes done. They use lovely Pentagon type bolt heads. Yeah, you check them. Oh yeah, I'm still zoomed in, sorry about that. Yeah. What's wrong with that bolt, huh? It's not a hex bolt, it's a 5 bolt Pentagon bolt. Weird stuff. I had to buy a special little socket set, or you know, this little thingy of sockets to fit them. 19mm, but weird stuff. Weird stuff. But not exactly for that one, because that one came as a complete caliper. But this one over here, it came only as, you know, one part, so I had to use the original pad. I don't know what you call that. The pad bracket, brake pad bracket, whatever. It's on now. The old brake pads are there. We still have plenty of life left in them, but hell, for what it takes, you put all new on. You can see I've got some nice new flexible hoses there, both sides. I've even got some for the rears, and the returns there, or the leak-offs from the suspension struts. You can see I've used some very nice. I've not yet put any clamps around them, but I do intend to. Some nice stainless ones. I am using some very nice nylon piping, which is air piping, air tube. And those of you who watch this and know what the octopus is, which is a sort of like joining place of all different return pipes, I have removed the octopus and I've replaced it with some nice T-pieces, which is basically all the octopus is. It's very, very simple, very easy to understand. There's a couple of pictures online about it and where all the pipes go inside the octopus. Very easy diagram to follow. So you can literally just make your own. I've literally just got, I'm pretty sure I've only got one more I need to do on it. Oh, I've got a pipe down there. You can just see where my shadow is. That pipe there, I've got to cut that green one there and put that T-piece in, but I'm obviously not going to use that T-piece. I'm going to make my own one using these push fits, and just, you know, I'm not sure where that comes from. It either comes from a return from the rear, probably one side, or the other side. I know there's 3 returns from the rear. There is the main height corrector return, and I'm pretty sure there is the returns from the two struts, or whatever, dampeners, this version of the dampeners. And those are going to be replaced with obviously nylon. I don't think it's been a while. It has been a while since I actually put the since I did a video on this. So one thing you will notice is a few of the steel pipes have been changed out. Inside there is one which goes to the brakes. That one there has been changed out. Now a lot of the pipes on this, unfortunately, have not been changed. I mean, these two curly whirly pipes down here, I've got those two to be changed, because one of them's actually got a hole in it, where it's been chafing and rubbing on the God knows what, but something. So that's going to get changed. Another thing I've got to do is the brake pad wear sensors. Those have kind of failed a little bit, in the sense the wires have corroded out all the way, and you've one connector down there, that yellow connector, just see it, that goes to the driver's side, well, UK driver's side. The car's right hand side brake, it goes connects inside the thing, comes through that hole, that grommet there, and it just plugs into these two cables here. And when the circuit's made via the little pins touching the brake discs when the pads wear all the way down, it makes the brake light come on inside, telling you that you've got a brake fault. Even though you've still probably got a few thousand miles left in the brake pads, but still, you definitely want to change them. I don't think I'll ever skimp out on brakes. What else? Oh yes, my horrendous welding is here. It looks completely horrific, but it's going to be covered up, so I'm not fussed about it. I did the panel behind, I did a real nice job of it, but then I went out of welding gas, and then this kind of happened. So I just thought, sod it. You can see here I actually ground it down a bit, but I ended up just saying sod it, can't be bothered. The reason why I've not painted this part yet is because I need to grind this down just to make it more smooth for when I put the Uji Mobile back on again. And obviously in here I'm going to completely underseal it all everywhere I can get to. Yes, what else? What else indeed, I don't know. Interior is cool, that's all good, nothing's changed there. The return lines, as you've seen, they are all now nylon. Well, not all of them yet, but they are slowly becoming nylon. Like I say, I'm just using pneumatic tubing. That stuff there, which is just pneumatic tubing. Should work well. I know the seals in these things, for instance, are not oil-proof seals, but I know the pipe is, because I've used it for all sorts. I've even used it for fuel line before. But that's petrol fuel line too. It's still going strong. These I know aren't really that oil-proof because the seals inside them are still made out of rubber, but for what these cost to replace, when they start leaking, you can just literally just do this, and they will just pop off. They're easy as that to remove. They're one of the best things I think I've ever come across. Now it looks like that's not got much. They're not going to be that good. But consider that these things are rated at something ridiculous like 10 or 11 bar of pressure. That's that pipe there. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane. So it'll work way good for a leak off. If I'm getting bloody 10 bars of pressure coming back on the leak offs, I think I've got some serious problems somewhere. So hopefully that's not going to happen. Anyway, guys and girls, I'm going to go, and I will catch you all on the next video. Peace out.